Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to go wide and see some of the different types of tires that you can put on your Infraction. So stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. Alright, here we go. Hey YouTube, so welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to try something different with my Infraction, and basically I did have a whole bunch of tires for my Felony. I bought these off of Horizon, and there's also local in stock at my local hobby shop. So I bought a whole bunch of them, and as you know, you can get different kinds of hoons. So you can get the silver ones, you can get white hoons. So I kind of stocked up for my Felony. Basically, I've stocked up on the fronts and the rears. And what I want to show you today is, and here's the front. I got silver ones, and I got rear silver hoons as well. But what I wanted to show you today is I kind of found some interest on this on Facebook, is that everyone's been wanting to do rear hoons on all fours on the Infraction. So in order to kind of show you what I did in order to fit it, let me just kind of go through what I did. So I'll take the body off here and show you some of the modifications that I did have to do. I'll put my body here on the side. And basically what we need to do in order to fit these four tires, as you can see, I already have them mounted. Basically what we need to do is lift the body posts up a little bit higher. And we have the body post for the front here and the rear. And as you can already notice or see that on the front, I do have a couple of foam pieces on top of the posts here. And that's just to get me a little bit more space on the body. A little ant here. Just a little bit more space on the body to raise the body up a little bit more. And I also adjusted the posts to its highest setting. And the other thing that I also did was put a spacer between the mounting point here and the body brace, or the body post brace here. So what I did was just from the Felony, I actually used that rubber tubing that comes with the for the intercooler, and I just snipped off a couple of 1/4-inch pieces. I unscrewed the body post mounts here, and I put the spacers underneath it. So I did the same thing on it for this too. So basically, I unscrewed it, took the screw out, took those rubber 1/4-inch spacers, put it underneath here, and put the screws back in, and it lifted it a little bit more. And then again, what I did is just put the post on its highest setting, so it's lifted to its highest setting. I found that for my application that the body wasn't high enough to clear the front here, so I put a little bit of pads here on the body post to kind of lift it up, and it basically does fit now. So I did have to trim. If you look at the body, I did have to trim the fender wells a little. So as you can see here, you do need to trim the fender wells. There is no way about it. You do have to trim it. And you also have to trim your splitter here. You get like a hex driver. So you do have to trim this out here just a little bit so that you have enough clearance for the front tires to clear. See? So that you're a little bit, when you're turning, you do have turning radius, you do have enough clearance there. Okay? Same with the rear. Once I lifted this body post up to its highest setting, I was able to get enough clearance for the rear. And for my application, I kind of noticed too, as you notice on my, if you ever watched my video on move this to the side, on the side rails that I have here, I noticed that if I put foam blocks, now these are just foam blocks that I get, typically when you buy like Traxxas Powers products, such as the rear axles or shocks, they give you the foam inserts to put the product in. So basically I just cut some blocks here, and I just mounted it to my side skirts here with just two-sided, double-sided tape. And in doing so, what it kind of actually did, I'll bring the body back into place here. Now when I put the body on top, and I was doing some trial fittings. By putting those rubber foam spacers in there, it kind of pushes out the fenders a little bit. So it causes a little bit more clearance. So if I put it on both sides, it just so happens I was just trying to figure out what would be the best way to get clearance. And putting those foam spacers on the side skirts just like that, it pulled out the body a little bit so that it gave me a little bit more space for on the fender wells. Now I did order, because I am actually on my last hole here. If you look at that hole, I do have to push the body down a little bit to get these clips in, and it's because of those spacers. So in order to get more clearance above the body for this infraction, I did order body posts for armors in general. So I'll include a picture of what I ordered on eBay, but typically I'm just getting longer posts from, I think I ordered it for Big Rock, and they come with the posts that are a little bit longer. So I'll be able to increase the height of this body post because it's a longer body post, and I'll have a little bit more clearance on the top. So with that, you're able to mount 4 of the 107 tires. These are the Felony 107 rear tires on all 4s. You do not need to adjust anything in terms of your gearing because you have equal-sized tires on all 4s. And I've already taken this out for a bash, and I did notice that it looks pretty awesome. In terms of grip and everything, I don't know if I'm getting any more grip, but I just know that with the body on, it just gives it that much more of an aggressive look because they are wider tires. I have no problems with clearance anymore. Initially, when I was trial fitting, I did have to take the body on and off in order to get clearance for the fender wells. But once I got home and did this mod with the foam and spaced out the body a little bit more, I haven't ran into problems. So if you do not have these side rails, I just suggest buying different armor body posts and get the longers in the front. The rear ones seem to be long enough to raise the height, as you can see here. This is at its highest height, and I do have enough clearance, and you will have to trim your fender wells a little bit in order to get the clearance that you need. And lastly, you do need to trim your front splitter. Okay, so this is what I'm currently running right now. I did have a whole bunch of tires, and again, I did have a bunch of spare rear hoons from the Felony, and I always wanted to try wide tires on all 4s, and this is the current look that I'm going for now. Now for you drifters, the options are, because rear Felony tires are hard to come by, and having it on all 4, it just makes it that much more difficult to find. So what I did was buy different tires. So you can actually run on the Infraction just as normal, 100 size tires on the 4 as normal, and just go with the stock look. Or if you can't find Hoons, if they're sold out at your local hobby shop, if they're sold out at Horizon or at A-Main, you can buy these off of eBay. So off eBay, you can get GRP tires, wheels and tires, and they're a pretty good deal. I think for a set of 2, they're like $30 to $35 for 1/8 scale. It all depends on where you live, because the shipping might be a little bit more or less where you are. But I was able to find GT05s and my GT07s, and these are the 2 different types of tires. So I'll show you the GT05s. These are brand new, so they'll look basically like this. Like that. So if you do a lot of drifting and you're concerned about finding Hoons because they are hard to find, you can buy GRP tires off of eBay. They come in different colors. You can get black. I believe they also come in silver and also in white for the rim color. I initially started off with S7s. Now the difference between S5s and S7s is just tire compound. So initially, when I first ordered my GRPs off of eBay, I started off with S7s. Now, depending on where you live and how you drift your car, I live in Hawaii, so temperatures here in Hawaii are typically in the high 80s, well, in the 80s at least, sometimes in the low 90s when it gets hot. So I noticed like after like 20 minutes of drifting, this is what my tires ended up looking like. So if you look at this, they're a little bit worn. They started to heat up and they started to chunk. Now, granted, where I was drifting and using these were on gravel, loose gravel, or asphalt. So that kind of takes the reason why I do have chunking on my tires and how they're worn. So I ordered a set of S5s. So the difference between these S7s and the S5 is this tire compound. So S5s are going to be a little bit more harder, a little bit more longer lasting. And again, because it is a harder compound, it won't be as grippy as the S7s. But if you're drifting and basically you're going to be wearing out your rubber anyway, if you want longer longevity, probably S5 is what you want to go after. But you have those two choices. You can get S5s or S7s. Okay. So that's it, gang. That's just a quick show of what I'm currently running. Basically, how you would actually run felony rear tires on your Infraction. I know a lot of people have been trying different body styles as well. They've been trying Mojave bodies on top of their Infraction with these 4 felony tires. But my current setup, I just wanted to try it just for hee-haws and laughs. But I kind of like it. I do have some more spare rear tires to put on my Infraction now, so I'm not too concerned about wearing these out. And I do rotate my RCs a lot, so I do have this, my Max, my Haas, my Mojave, which we're going to take out, and my Losi grave digger. So we have a bunch of cars to go around, so this doesn't always get to be played with a lot. So I kind of like the look of 4 rear felony tires on my Infraction. So I think the only thing I might change in terms of this maintenance, I did order again like these front body posts just so that I have a little bit more clearance, make it a little bit easier for me to put these pins in and out. Rear body posts, again, the stock ones you can adjust it one taller. I know I'm on my last hole on the rear body posts, but it does lift it up high enough where I have enough clearance on the rear tires. If this looks a little bit too high, you can actually leave it on the stock setting and it'll drop the rear a little bit. But I just want to make sure I have enough clearance. And again, I'm just using like rubber tubing from my Felony that came with the intercooler as spacers between the body post mount and the chassis. So that's the current look of my Infraction, guys. We'll take this out for a bash and have some fun with this, along with the other bashes with the other vehicles since we did power-ups. So stay tuned and watch the rest of the rest of my channel for upcoming videos. Hope you like this video. Give a please subscribe and like, and stay tuned for more videos. Okay, guys? All right. See you soon.